How's it going, YouTube? My name is JRSD, and I'm here for week number 1 of the QDL season number 3. On my draft analysis video, you know that last season in the QDL, I took over for a team. We went all the way to the championship, and we won it. I'm bringing the Seattle back in QDL this time. I'm drafting the team, and I'm going to take the chip with this team and go back. Anyway, so if you haven't seen the draft analysis, I will link that, and you can check that out. But quickly, just here, these are my 11 mons that I have access to. And we'll go over the team of my opponent for week 1. So I was playing Bailey. He is the coach of the Tennessee Tyrannotars. Pretty sick logo there that you can see on the thumbnail. But yeah, so he has Mega Scizor, Garchomp, Slowbro, Rotom Heat, Cobalion, Sylveon, Miltank, Swellow, Tangela, Skuntank, and Torracat. Of course, we have these 11. This is not a Totodemaru, this is Snowball. Week 1, starting things off, we were bringing Heavy Duty Boots, Arceus, Therian, Mustard, Generator, Hurricane, Toxic, U-Turn. Had Heat Wave on there for Scizor, but at the last second, I think, or I figured that Toxic would be on as well for that Slowbro, not letting it kind of teleport around, and then other bulky mons like the Rotom, maybe not letting it defog or something like that. Yeah, next up, Oogway, Master Oogway, the Turtonator with Heavy Duty Boots as well, Shell Armor, Flamethrower, Dragon Pulse, Toxic, and Rapid Spin, especially defensive. This is my check to Mega Scizor. This is my check to Rotom Heat. Both those Pokemon do loads against my team, especially against Rillaboom and Aggron. So this kind of hard checks Scizor and Heat, Rotom Heat, unless it's like Nasty Plot and Dark Pulse. But yeah, so Flamethrower there for the Scizor. Obviously, Dragon Pulse hits everything except its Fairy type, and then Toxic to spread Toxic, and Rapid Spin is my removal on the team. Then we got Bud Light, the Vaporeon, with the leftovers Scald, Flip Turn, Wish, and Protect. Physically defensive this week. It is here to be a counter to the Garchomp. It can take hits from the Miltank, from the Cobalion, and just provide Wish support for the team. Next up, we're bringing Rafiki, the Lumberry Grassy Surge, Rillaboom, with Grassy Glide, Knockoff, Swords Dance, and Leech Seed. Adamant Nature, this thing outspeeds everything below the Skuntank, I think. Something like that. And once Scizor is gone, I thought Rafiki's matchup was quite bad, actually, going into it, but I really liked the Grassy Surge in this game. So basically just bringing it for the Grassy Surge. As I said, kind of before, Rotom Heat, Mega Scizor, Skuntank even, they kind of just wall Rillaboom, so not expecting much out of it this week. Lumberry, just in case I get burned by Rotom, something like that, get to +2, and then take it out with a knockoff. Next up is Panzer, the Mega Aggron, running Spadef Nature. I think that was supposed to be Adamant. I think I just didn't change it. Well, it worked, but Avalanche, Heavy Slam, Head Smash for the Rotom, and Stealth Rock. So just pretty basic 3-attack Stealth Rock. Head Smash to catch the Rotom on the switch in. Cobalion pretty much walls this thing because I don't have Earthquake. But I have answers to Cobalion like Turtonator and Torn. Next up is Thanos. Last up, I guess. Choice Scarf, Sheer Force, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam. Basically just there to clean at the end if possible. Yeah, so let's just get into the match. So Bailey brought Slowbro, Rotom Heat, Swellow, which on my team, I do not have switch into Specs Boomburst, so I figured he'd bring Swellow. Skuntank, Valiant, and Mega Scizor. No Garchomp, which is nice to see. No Sylveon, which is nice to see. But we do see the threats that I thought we would see. I basically predicted Heat, Slowbro, Swellow, Cobalion, Mega Scizor, and Garchomp, but instead he brings the Skuntank. So he leads off with the Slowbro, I lead off with the Tornadus. Here I just go for a Toxic right away. I figured he would either just try and hit me with a Scald, or he would teleport out maybe on my U-turn. So I do get a Toxic off. He actually goes for Substitute, which is kind of crazy. I never really learned what his set was going to be. But then he goes into Skuntank as I go for U-turn and do a good chip to the Skuntank, and go right into Aggron, as this thing can barely touch Aggron at all. He goes for Taunt as I go right for a Head Smash, trying to catch the Rotom Heat, and that does 70% to the Skuntank, so big damage there from regular Aggron. He goes into Cobalion next, and Head Smash is not going to do anything to it, and it's actually Rocky Helmet, so it's perfectly designed to beat Aggron pretty much. I go into Nidoking, figuring he can't really touch me. As he sets up rocks, I go for the Sludge Wave. Good play on my part, I think. Going for Sludge Wave on a Steel type, knowing that he can't stay in. But he obviously figures out that I'm choiced, or he doesn't figure, but I guess he guesses. If I wasn't choiced, that would be an interesting play on his part, but I was choiced, so he goes for Taunt onto the possible Vaporeon coming in or something, but I actually go into the Turtonator and just go for Rapid Spin here. The rocks aren't terrible for my team, but I have 2 Boots Mons and a couple Pokemon that resist, but they're kind of annoying. So I go back into Torn here, as he just goes straight for a Psychic, and it actually does quite a bit of damage. We figured out later on that he's actually specially defensive. Actually, we figured out right there, because 38% is not a lot to a Slowbro. And then he goes for Scald, and he gets the burn. I don't really care on this set, because I have Regenerator. I don't go for U-turn just in case he goes with Cobalion. I didn't want to take Rocky Helmet, but we go into the Vaporeon, so he goes right for the Psychic again. Here, I think we go for Flip Turn, if I remember correctly. Yes, we go for Flip Turn, basically get something out for free, and we get in Rillaboom. And I can take out this Skuntank with Grassy Glide pretty easily, but he actually goes into Cobalion. As I Grassy Glide, does nothing. Obviously, this is a very good non-fighting type move. Rillaboom check as well. With my set, at least, it pretty much walled me. He goes for Volt Switch first. I go for Leech Seed, I think. Or no, I just go for Knockoff. Wanting to get rid of that Rocky Helmet, which was annoying. I knew I'd give a justified boost, but it doesn't really matter. So Skuntank takes the first KO of this season. Here on Swellow, I figured he gets a free kill, basically, if I switch, unless I go into Aggron and he predicts and go for Heat Wave. But yeah, like Boom Burst got a kill, basically. So I figured Rillaboom's not that useful looking at the rest of his team. Cobalion walls it, Rotom walls it, Scizor walls it, Swellow kills it, and Slowbro, I can take care of it with other things. So I just go for Grassy Glide, knowing that I can get Chip, and then a Scald from Vaporeon will take it out, and I will live a Boom Burst if he wants to stay in. So yeah, I do just that, go back into Vaporeon. He goes for Boom Burst, takes me down to 25, but Vaporeon is fat as hell, so I just go for Scald, and it takes it out. Vaporeon's low-key kind of strong. Yeah, base 110, special attack, I think. He goes into Scizor here, and I just go straight into Turtonator as he Mega Evolves, and he goes for U-turn. Obviously, good play there. He goes into Slowbro here, getting that regen back up. But it doesn't really matter because he's toxic at this point. So the regenerator with a passive mon like Slowbro, not passive, but kind of passive, is not a big deal when it's toxic. So I go for Protect here with Vaporeon. Just kind of hoping that I can get enough HP to get a wish off. As he takes more toxic damage, so either way he takes more toxic damage this turn. So even if I dropped, I get a wish off, and then he takes 25% of toxic damage. So he's back to 16 again, down low. And I go into Torn here to get the wish back, but I actually miss Hurricane here on Rotom, which was very unfortunate, as you'll see. Here I go for U-turn. I just wanted to see if it was Scarfed. If it was Scarfed, I lived. It didn't really matter. But he just goes for Volt Switch, which is the right play. Not Scarfed, obviously, and goes into the Slowbro. Here I think I just fire off a Dragon Pulse, if I'm not mistaken. No, I switch back into Torn, actually. Yeah, switch back into Torn, because Hurricane is pretty free at this point. If I land it 2 it KOs the Rotom from this percentage at 30, even at 41 last time. Here I go for Hurricane, does 29 on the switch in. Looking back on it, I was in a very commanding position here, and he really had no choice other than to Volt Switch out and hope that I missed. So I could have gone Nidoking and clicked Flamethrower or Earth Power. Well, probably Flamethrower, yeah. But as you see here, I stay in, I go for Hurricane, trying to get that kill, and it doesn't land for the second time out of 3. So he goes for Thunderbolt, takes me out, which is unfortunate. But, you know, Torn. So I just go Nidoking here, and I Flamethrower. It's the best neutral move. Obviously, I can't lock myself into Sludge Wave or Earth Power. But now I can lock myself into Earth Power, but obviously can't hit the Rotom with that. He goes for Scald as I switch to Turtonator, figuring he might double, predicting my double, predicting my switch out or whatever. I just go for Dragon Pulse. This thing's taking more toxic damage here, and then I predict the switch here and go for Flamethrower on this turn. And it does loads to the Cavalier. And he's going to take me out with a close combat. I was kind of worried now that Mega Scizor could possibly beat Aggron and Nidoking if I didn't play this right. I go for Earth Power to take out the Cobalion, obviously, with Nidoking. 2 kills for it now. I go for Earth Power here, just hope for the roll, basically. I know I can live a Scald, which puts me in Bullet Punch range, but if he stays in here, he dies to Toxic. If he switches out, I get Chip on the Scizor, which potentially I can 2-hit KO it as well. I do 48 on the first roll, and then he doesn't Bullet Punch me. So, yeah, basically, I get the 52 roll, which is kind of big, and then I'm able to Earth Power on the Slowbro, because he goes for Scald, and then I know that Aggron will be able to take it out once it's Mega'd. As long as it doesn't get burned, and he doesn't have Slack Off, which he turns out that he didn't have Slack Off. So even if I got burned here, it didn't really matter. Head Smash does loads. If he goes for Slack Off there, I don't think he stalls me out at any point, really. Aggron's just too strong. And the toxic damage actually takes out the Slowbro, so Torn gets that kill. Yeah, so we pick up the, in my opinion, closer than it needed to be 1-0 win in week 1. As you can see, next week we are facing the Tempura Boys, and Coach Tempura Boys, and that should be up within the week. Yeah, you can see Nidoking got 3 kills, Vaporeon 1, Tornadus 1, and Rillaboom 1. So we are 1-0 plus 1. Just look at the stats real quick. Nope, that's not what I wanted to look at. Main page. Yeah, so we are tied, basically. Obviously, 6 people are going to win and 6 people are going to lose in week 1, but we had the lowest differential out of all. There was a bajillion 6-0s. There's 2 6-0s, 2 4-0s, 1 2-0, and that should be a 1. I don't know why it's not a 1. I should have a 1 differential. But yeah. So, yeah, basically, that's it for week 1. You guys really liked the draft analysis video. It's my most viewed video on the channel right now. So I hope you guys will come back for week 1 and continue to come back throughout the season. Let me know what you thought of the game. Yeah, click like if you're new. Click subscribe on post-draft league content. And yeah, we'll be back IBL week 4. We'll be up this week as well. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Thanks for checking it out. Bye-bye.